Hey everybody, how's it going? It is us once again, Earth and Stone, Derek.
And Maddy.
We are revisiting another site we've been to before, but we never made a video for it. We are at the ruins of St. Dominic's Catholic Church and Cemetery in Hondo, Texas. As you see behind us, there are the remaining little remnants of the church. We'll go around the other side so you can get a better view of everything. But we're going to visit some fairly interesting graves. What did you think the last time we were here, Maddy?
I thought it was awesome. I just dig the history on it. It's going to be amazing to show you guys.
Come on, let's go. Now, okay, there's a gate around here, but obviously, look, it's very open right here. This could very well be the front. Maddy pointed out, that's the door. And I thought, I didn't think about it before, but yeah, that's the door. She's very observant that way. She saw the cactuses and the growth on the top of the wall. How they got up there, we don't know. But yeah, I believe, didn't it say there was like a fire here or something?
Yes, a fire.
Let's go check out the historic marker. Site of St. Dominic Catholic Church and Cemetery. Congregation formed in 1847 with founding of Danis colony by settlers from Alsace, France. My apologies to the city if I'm pronouncing it wrong. In 1853, when town became a mission parish, limestone church was built using timber hauled by ox wagon from Medina River. Sandstone extension was built in 1868 upon arrival of the first resident pastor, but abandoned after 1914 when new church was built in New Danis, 1.5 miles west from here. Cemetery, dating from burial of child of colonists in 1847, was used until 1893 when new cemetery was started following diphtheria epidemic. So yes, there was a diphtheria epidemic that wiped out quite a few people. It's a small cemetery, but it's chock full of history, and we're going to go visit these, and I think we're going to save one grave for last because it was like one of the most interesting ones. So here we go. First off, before we go into the cemetery, here is this stone feature. Town of Danis, now known as Old Danis. Established in 1847 by 29 families under the leadership of Theodore Gentiles? Don't know. Representing Henry Castro, 1861, distinguished pioneer and colonizer of Texas, who introduced the early settlers of Medina County, named in honor of Guillaume William Danis. Or is that William? Is that how they pronounced William back then?
I think it is.
That's a weird way to spell it. Manager of the Colonization Society. When the Southern Pacific Railroad missed the town, its citizens moved to the present Danis. A lot of these little towns I've noticed is they go the way of the dodo when the railroad does not go through. Back then, people were very dependent on railroads to get textiles and supplies and stuff like that. I've heard one too many towns where they had all these plans to colonize and grow, but then they made different plans for the railroad, and it would go through a neighboring town, and everybody moved to that town. So the town that they were in died a slow death.
Like a beginner town.
Right. They would colonize there, and then they say, oh, yeah, we got a railroad coming through, yay. And then they say, no, we're not going to put it through there. We're going to put it through another town. They go, oh, well, then we don't want to be here then. They go to the other town, and the other one becomes a ghost town. But they leave behind, of course, the cemeteries. Back then, they didn't dig up the bodies and transfer them to a new cemetery. They left them right where they were at. So a lot of times, the cemeteries we see are probably the only evidence that the town even existed. So let's go look at some of this evidence and see where the town existed. This is another view of St. Dominic's Church, the ruins of St. Dominic's Church, which we have often said is very Led Zeppelin-esque when you think about it. Here we are at the entrance of the cemetery. Last time we were here, I walked all around here like a dork looking for an opening, and it was right here. And Maddy pointed it out. See? St. Dominic's.
It's nice out here today.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was really nice the last time we came too.
It was. It was. I remember it was like slightly overcast. Now, when we came out here last time, we did a live for the Facebook channel, but we didn't have a YouTube channel at the time, so we didn't think to make any kind of a video. But after the YouTube channel was made, we were like, we have to go back to St. Dominic's. As you can see, it's a small cemetery. We're standing at the other end by the other side of the wall, so this is it. This is all of it. So let's take a look at some of these stones. So here is a nice testament of the types of stones they were using back then. This says Ogzer. See, it's in their native language. Kind of tells you like they colonized this place and they came from another country. So a lot of these are written in the native tongue.
I want to say when we came last time, things were in better condition than they are now. But I think it's the rainstorms we've been having in this part of Texas gets a little bit more rain than we do. And then with the sun combination and the heat, it just kind of destroys the tombstones, the rock.
Yeah, you get quite a bit of that.
I would like to look back at our Facebook post when we did the live because I really don't remember it being so run down.
We got this last name Zerg popping up now, which I didn't notice it before. I wasn't really paying too much attention that time. I'd go to random graves. We both did. We were kind of spread out, and we look at different graves just for the aesthetic and for the look, but we didn't really pay attention to the names too much. So we got one guy here, Zerg, and another Zerg here. And this one down here, Robert J. Koch, which I've always pronounced Koch, but I know a person with that last name, and they pronounced it Cook. So we'll go with that. And here's like an old school, like what you think of when you think of a tombstone. That's what I think of, something like this. Peter Wynand, 1886 to 1890. And you got this bad boy right here, which makes me wonder, were there remains, like ashes or something, interred right here? Could you get like a crowbar in there and pry it open, and they're right up here on the top? Or is this the headstone? I would think that something in here, like ashes or something, are put in here. Kind of like, it reminds me of the Lost Ark of the Covenant. It looks like something you could open up and there's like a little hollow place to put things. I don't think it's a headstone. If it is, it's very elaborate.
It does look like somebody shifted it, tried to open it, or succeeded in opening it.
Yeah, it does. You can see right here, it doesn't match up. So, could be. And then we see a lot of these here. These metal offerings, which are very, very rustic, very personal. But as far as names are concerned, I don't know if it ever bared a name or not, but don't see one. Here's one here that kind of sank down into the ground, but it's made the same as these. And we got this teeny weeny little stone. Can you read the name on that? I can't see it at all.
Ambrose,
okay.
Rettizer.
Yeah, some of these names, you're going to have to forgive us, but these names are... Reptizer?
Reptilian.
Some of these names are just like out of our reach.
Sorry
for
butchering that name.
We don't mean any disrespect. We're just having a hard time pronouncing some of these. But I really like this old school kind of stone. And this work here for its time, well, hell, even now, is pretty elaborate. But we've seen a lot of these, like, you have the all-seeing eye of Horus here. Even though it's got the Catholic symbols on it, they threw that little all-seeing eye on there too.
And the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
Yeah, right down there at the bottom. So,
Franz
Franz Antoine Ludwig, 1808 to 1871, and Marie Anne Masson Ludwig, 1800 to 1883. Original 1840 immigrant settlers and lifelong residents of Old Hannes. But this work is, I try to imagine what it was like when it was new. But all of these have like a rough touch to them. They all seem to have that, not like marble or anything smooth. Like this one here, this is a smooth stone. And this is from 1878. So it wasn't unheard of to use, that kind of stone. But a lot of these are made of whatever that rough stone is. I don't want to say it's sandstone. Sandstone is kind of soft and would have worn out by now. This is something totally different.
And the church was made of limestone.
Right.
I'm wondering, would limestone look like that if it was shiny?
I have no idea, but all the black on it might lend to the fact that it's limestone. Perhaps. I don't know. We'd have to look that up. This one has Mutter, somebody's mother, and that sounds Germanic to me. That sounds like it would be German or Austrian, which we do pass up an Austrian bakery on the way over here. So, hey, if they colonized this area, there's every chance they have Austrian relatives that stood by and grew up here. Again, you see, it's all seeing eye that you see on the dollar bills. Ooh. Now, I had looked up what this means. It has a meaning to it, and I may edit that in later. But do you see, Guten Frieden, Maria Hergat Whiff. Yeah, see, those are just, those names are hard on the tongue, man. Now here we go, Maria Anna Derriere Whiff. This one's really nice. It had some kind of little monument on top, but it's very nice. I like it. Grandmother, Magdalena Wettina Postert. She died 1867. She was 48 years old. 48 years old, and she was a grandmother. That's not... Again, with the hand symbol. You got another one of these metal boys. This is a lot thicker, a lot more sturdy, and they actually have the name put into it. Another Zer name. I thought the other one said Zerg with a G, but no, Zer, Z-E-R-R. And all these graves, for the most part, were people who colonized this area. Got some more symbols here, but this one's so worn down you can't even tell what it is. But these tall stones are just mesmerizing, for lack of a better word. Hey, look, see how tall that is? That's a pretty tall stone right there. Alexander Hoffman, born in Bohemia. Oh, killed by Indians. I didn't see. We didn't see that last time we were here, guys. Killed by Indians. Now, see, spoiler alert. That's what we were going to save for last. There's another headstone here that says killed by Indians in it, which we thought was kind of unique because you don't really see a lot of stones that have the cause of death on them. We had the one at Old Baptist that said bitten by a snake. That was his demise. But you don't see that very often where they talk about how they passed. And this one straight up says, killed by Indians in Uvalde County, 1860. Served in the Mexican War. First sheriff of Bandera County. Wow. Alexander Hoffman. Wow. How did we miss that one last time we were here? That's pretty amazing, really. We were kind of, to be fair, our first time here, we were all struck by the graves and the stonework. And that church was very, for lack of a better word, distracting. Because I was mesmerized by that church. Here we go with Reinhardt. See, here we are with the smooth marble, granite, whatever you want to call it. That's an obelisk. Obelisk is, as far as I know, it is an occult symbol, which is, kind of odd that they have something like that in Washington, D.C. But you see a lot of symbols when it comes to our government. You do have this all-seeing eye on the back of a dollar bill. If you haven't noticed, the eagle is carrying a branch and arrows, and each one of those there's 13 arrows and 13 leaves on the branch. Okay, I don't know what this is supposed to be.
I'm thinking Mother Mary, because she's standing on top of the world.
It looks like she has a smirk.
See how she's standing on top of the world?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen one like that. That's awesome.
That's done by hand, definitely.
I really like that. Let me take a picture.
I almost said Jacob, but that doesn't look like a C to me. A wolf. 2 F's. I thought that said reborn, but it's native tongue. It means born, I'm pretty sure.
That Mother Mary looks folk artish, huh?
Johann. See, I can't really pronounce those names. I don't know if that's 2 names or an initial and a last name. I don't know. And you can see, pause to try to read it, but if I get a clear enough picture of this, I can probably put it through a translator, which I will do later, like this one here. Very nice. Got roses sculpted inside of it. Yeah. Very cool. Another heart here. A star. A cross and an anchor.
Yeah.
Another eye. Another triangle. This is the final row here. We'll check that one out in just a little bit. This is the original bell that hung in the church. We found that out last time we were here. The original bell to call people to service. And then this huge cross right here. Is it for somebody? I don't know.
I think it's for the people.
You think in general? They have some headstones. Yeah. The diphtheria kind of did its number on a lot of people here. Philomena Cook. I'm going to say Cook because, like I said, the person I know pronounces their name like that. You got this huge base for this stone, but you can't really read that. And then we're going to look at this awesome little grave. We've seen a number of these. You've seen them with us. A number of these with the cages around them. But this is one of the more pristine ones, because usually I can't read the stones in them. This one says Corlina Pernier. I don't know how that name is pronounced. I gotta brush up on my Austrian or something. Kind of sank down in there, but they're still down there, I'm sure. Have another plaque here. It tells who's in each row. We're not going to go through all those names. If you can read it, zoom in, pause for effect. There's 12 rows according to this. That's it. Lovingly dedicated to those early pioneers that are now resting in St. Dominic Cemetery. We respect you for your courage and love you for your perseverance. Yes. I would ring the bell out of respect, but I'm no ding-a-ling. You're supposed to ring this if you had good service. Like at Long John Silver's. Thanks. Ding. Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
It is.
You know what? Let's do it. Yeah. Let's go check out that final grave that I kind of strode. When we first came here, we were looking for this stone in particular because we had read about it before we got here. As you can see, just like the other one, but we didn't know that other one was here. It's John Schreiber, 1800, 1861, and it simply says killed by Indians. So when they were killed like that, I guess they wanted to make it a point that they were killed by Indians. Why? Were they trying to paint the Indians as savage people and they had every reason to clear them out because some of their people were killed by Indians? Or is it just something they did back then, like this is how they died? Don't know. Something we'll have to look up. But there it is. And this actually concludes this very short and very profound tour of St. Dominic Cemetery and Catholic Church. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's, like I said, it's a very short and sweet tour of St. Dominic Cemetery in Hondo, Texas. Like Maddy said before, she really digs the history of these things, and so do I, as do I. I also like the craftsmanship of the stones. It just tells a lot about the time period. And like I said, there's like extra bonus here where they tell you how they met their demise, which is rare. We think it's pretty rare to see that on a stone. We've only seen this in one other cemetery, and that was that old Baptist church. That one, he was bitten by a snake. But we have two here. One we didn't notice last time, that there were two here that were killed by Indians. But this was well worth the trip. I'm glad we were able to make this video and put it out there for all of you to see. And we hope you enjoy this as much as we do. We love bringing you these videos, and we will try to bring you more in the future when schedules allow. So there you have it for now. Until next time, this is Derek.
Maddy, positive vibes.